Well, indeed. Welcome again to Mother Mountain Speedway. You can see Division 2 cars out on the racetrack for our first event here tonight. Brand new driver having a few problems with the car. Number 96, welcome to Rod Rasker from the Sunshine Coast Club. First appearance here tonight. And not a good way to start with the car stalling down through the dipper. To his assistance is the push car, the water truck just dampening things down before we get underway with Division 2. And we've got Sarah Franz out there in car number 36. Darren Lyon is car 3 on the roof. Car 30 is Jessica Raymont. Car number 28 out there as well is Matt Rigby, and Trent Humphreys is there in car number 14. In addition to your program is Peter Stolzenberg in the smoker, car number 17. And we're just trying to get Rod Rasker mobile in car number 96. That's the first heat of Division 2. With the sun still shining, the lights not really taking effect, so the flags will come right into use here as they roll up the main straightaway, and a green one is given. Good start on the outside by Darren Lyon, with Sarah Franz trying to go with him. Cuts across on the top line through Pagel's corner, and Darren Lyon is the race leader over Sarah Franz. Back to Jessica Raymont. In behind them would be Matt Rigby in 28, and we've got a bit of a problem in the hairpin. It's Darren Lyon down there looking into the sun. That's turned it around, one up against the fence. Is the smoker indeed, Peter Stolzenberg, car 17, with a lot of smoke coming from the car. Turned it around, everybody avoided the problem in car 17. Whether he can continue like that, we'll have to wait and see. It would make it very difficult for anybody around him to see where they're going. And car 17 to the infield with all that smoke, as we originally thought. So a problem there to sort out for Peter Stolzenberg. Reduces the field to a 6 car. Rolling up the main straightaway, looking for a start this time. Sarah Franz on the inside of Matt Rigby. There's a green one off and running. Matt Rigby with a flyer on the outside. Takes the race lead as they head towards the top corner for the first time, and Trent Humphreys is going with him. Goes around the outside of Sarah Franz, round that top corner. Let's see if we can get through the hairpin for the first time this time. Matt Rigby it is in car number 28. Leads them through with Trent Humphreys in behind in position number 2. Back to Sarah Franz in front of Jessica Raymont. One getting in all sorts of trouble again is Darren Lyon in car number 3. And our debutant Rod Rasker is at the back of the pack. We've lost one around on the top corner. Is Trent Humphreys facing the wrong way as the rest of the field are able to get by. Whether or not he can restart the car before the pack arrives, we'll have to wait and see. The lights are staying green as Matt Rigby goes past, heading for the top corner. Jessica Raymont now in position number 2 in front of Darren Lyon it is. And it's Sarah Franz having some problems with car 36, I think. And miraculously, as the lights come yellow, Trent is able to restart the car, but I think he's going to have a little bit of a headache waiting for him when he arrives at the start-finish line. Jessica Raymont, Darren Lyon, Sarah Franz, Trent Humphreys, the steward didn't like him sitting there waiting for the yellow one. Has put him on the infield through the hairpin and slowly up the main straightaway, looking for a green one for the restart. Off and running we are with Matt Rigby, the race leader, in front of Jessica Raymont. Darren Lyon has got himself back from the back of the pack and then has turned it around in the top corner in front of Sarah Franz. Can he keep it going? Yes, he can. Into the hairpin for Matt Rigby. Jessica Raymond still chasing hard in position 2. Sarah Franz back in 3. Next one would be Darren Lyon, and he's gone around yet again. He's beginning giddy, going around each time at the hairpin, and Rod Rasker has got himself past a car on his first outing. In car number 96, back to our race leader, that's Matt Rigby in car number 28. Through the hairpin he goes and up the main straightaway. Can young Darren Lyon get around the top corner this time? No, he can't. He's gone around again. And this time right in front of our race leader, Matt Rigby arrives, wondering which way to go. He stays down low. Jessica Raymond's with him. So Darren Lyon now to the back of the pack. We'll watch him in the hairpin, see if he can get around it. Sarah Franz is back there in position 3. Darren Lyon taking it very slowly through the hairpin. This time he gives the concrete a hiding. So not having a best of outings, Rod Rasker would be the other car on the racetrack. Our race leader, it's all Darren Lyon, starting to gap Jessica Raymond right now. Long way back then we'd find Sarah Franz in car number 36. Rod Rasker would be the next one in 96. And Darren Lyon still circulating around the racetrack. Rod Rasker about to be given the lapping flag as Matt Rigby moves up on him. Will move to the outside, drives past the new driver in car number 96. He's not doing a bad job for his first outing. Way back in second place is still Jessica Raymond, and even the same distance back to Sarah Franz in third place as Darren Lyon again gives the concrete a bit of a working over. They've taken the white flag, one to go, the checkered flag waiting this time, and a good win to Darren Lyon in the Kalula Crane Hire Commodore. Second across the line will be Jessica Raymond. A distant third will be Sarah Franz, just in the hairpin now. Darren Lyon a lap back. Sarah Franz crosses the line to take out position number 3. And on his first outing, Rod Rasker it will be, coming home in position 4. Okay, they move up into formation. Brett Baxter, Tegan Jennings, that's the front row. Brendan Gillen. Alan Hughes is in 88 and Troy Sismay is in 43. So a 5-car field to face the starter in this heat of the Division 2s. Off and running. Brett Baxter down on the inside, moves Tegan Jennings away. She moves back into position number 2 as Brendan Gillen working away down on the inside of her. She tries to shut the door on him. Car 88 is Alan Hughes, and right at the back is Troy Sismay as they arrive at the hairpin for the first time. Just a little bit tricky through there as the track remains a bit damp. We'll settle down though as the race meeting continues, and have a look at the lead. Brett Baxter starting to stretch that lead. That's car number 5. Tegan Jennings holding a good second place in car 23. We go back then to Brendan Gillen in car number 92. Alan Hughes and Troy Sismay at the back has got some smoking problems with the green Commodore. Through the hairpin again and up the main straightaway, and it's all Brett Baxter. Tegan Jennings a distant second, back then to Brendan Gillen in 92. Alan Hughes and Troy Sismay. Have a look at the young fellow as he arrives at the hairpin. Car number 5, Brett Baxter. Heads up the main straightaway, would probably have the best part of the length of the straight as the race lead. Over Tegan Jennings doing a good job back there into a challenge for third places. Alan Hughes take car 88 up the inside of Brendan Gillen, who's gone right out and given the concrete a bit of a nudge, allowing Troy Sismay to sneak by as well, relegating Brendan Gillen to the tail of the field, and he'll have to negotiate the smoke out of car 43 as well. Car number 5 though, it's all Brett Baxter. Just running away with it as he heads down the back chute. A bit of a challenge now for position 2 as Alan Hughes starting to close the gap down on Tegan Jennings. Brett Baxter's in the hairpins. Here comes Alan Hughes underneath. There's no room there. Straight into the passenger's door of car number 23. She holds the line. Alan Hughes goes to the back of the pack. And they want to get rid of car number 43 with the smoke. Have a look. We pick up our race leader, Brett Baxter. He's in the hairpin and heading up the main straightaway. Car number 2 yet to get to the hairpin corner, and that is Tegan Jennings in a comfortable second place. Troy Sismay's been given the machinery flag, means take the car to the infield just as Brendan Gillen arrives to the better of Alan Hughes. White flag waiting this time around for Brett Baxter, and he's probably got half a lap lead now. Just running away in car number 5 through the hairpin. Tegan Jennings gets the tail wobbling a little bit, holds on to it though. Back on the drive line she goes, takes the white flag, and one to go for her. Brendan Gillen is a distant third. Alan Hughes is the only other car remaining on the racetrack. And up the main straightaway to take a checkered flag, and a big win to Brett Baxter. He idles it across the line to take out the first heat through the hairpin and up the main straightaway for Tegan Jennings into position number 2 in front of Brendan Gillen. And the last one to greet the judge was Alan Hughes. Heading up the main straightaway for the start, Troy Sismay and car number 88 of Alan Hughes. They're side by side. Brett Baxter is in there. Jessica Raymond as well. We've still got them 2 abreast. Troy Sismay, the race leader. We've got Brett Baxter turning it around. Too tight on the top corner for the first outing. Troy Sismay, can Brett get the car going? Doesn't look like it. Troy Sismay is the race leader over Alan Hughes as they roll up the main straightaway. Jessica Raymond having a go down underneath, but I think it'll be all to no avail. The lights will have to come on yellow. Brett Baxter left parked in the gutter there, coming off the top corner on the wet racetrack. Just hit the loud pedal a little early, and around came the leading them around again. Car 43, Troy Sismay up the main straightaway for the start. Green one off and running. Troy Sismay gets the better of the jump on the inside again. This time following him through would be car number 28 of Matt Rigby. Jessica Raymond is in there as well. Troy Sismay gets it a little high. We got one in trouble is Alan Hughes. Has got them lined up behind him. They all avoid a little problem coming off the top corner. Troy Sismay is the race leader, but for how long? Matt Rigby's down on the inside of him. Alan Hughes holding on desperately for position number 3 with Jessica Raymond working away down on the inside. Trent Humphreys would be the next one. Sarah Franz is in there as well. And coming through too is Darren Lyons. We got them 2 wide heading down the back chute. Our new race leader is Matt Rigby. Into the hairpin he goes. Over Troy Sismay in car number 43. Behind him is Alan Hughes. We've got... next one would be car 30, Jessica Raymond, trying to work down on the inside of Alan Hughes, who goes very wide around the top corner. Through the hairpin and up the main straightaway for Matt Rigby. Troy Sismay, Alan Hughes now under siege from Jessica Raymond, who gets it all wrong and is down on the inside. Off the racetrack, Sarah Franz around the outside, a bit of biff and barge as Brett Baxter muscles his way through under Trent Humphreys, now down on the inside of Jessica Raymond. as Sarah Franz works away on Alan Hughes coming into the hairpin, and she will inherit third place as they head up the main straightaway. The race leader, Matt Rigby, has cleared away from Troy Sismay. The next one in behind there now is Sarah Franz. Alan Hughes trying to get back on the race line. Brett Baxter has worked his way through from the back of the pack to be right on his hammer. Jessica Raymond would be the next one. Trent Humphreys, and back then to Darren Lyon, Tegan Jennings, and at the back would be Brendan Gillen along with Rod Rasker as the race leader heads around the top corner and down the back chute. It's all Matt Rigby leading Troy Sismay in car number 43, who is just about all on his lonesome in position 2. Sarah Franz has got clear in 3 as well. Brett Baxter has muscled his way up to position number 4. The next one would be Troy Humphreys in front of Jessica Raymond. They've got 2 laps to go in the event. They've shuffled Alan Hughes back almost to the back of the pack. Coming up to put a lap on Rod Rasker. Perhaps he might escape because the white flag waits this time for Matt Rigby. So 1 lap to go for car number 28. Troy Sismay holding on in position number 2 in front of Sarah Franz. The next one right on her hammer now. Brett Baxter, can he get up to a major placing? Troy Humphreys would be the next one, then Jessica Raymond and Darren Lyon. Into the hairpin for the last time it is Matt Rigby to take the checkered flag, and his second win up the main straightaway for a second place to Troy Sismay in front of Sarah Franz, Brett Baxter. Trent Humphreys the next one home in car 14 in front of Jessica Raymond and Darren Lyon. 2 from 2 for Matt Rigby tonight. Got the jump from the front. A couple of laps and he was in the lead and then ran away with it. Rolling around for the start of the Division 2s. Peter Stolzenberg fixed the problem with car number 17, but off and running on the outside. Matt Rigby, no contest as Matt Rigby goes straight to the race lead. Peter Stolzenberg would be the next one. In there is Sarah Franz in position number 3. Coming through from the inside, car number 43 is Troy Sismay in the green Commodore. Next one too would be Jessica Raymond in front of Brendan Gillen in 92. Alan Hughes very high on the racetrack. Got a problem coming off the top corner. Troy Sismay it is who has got them all stacked up behind him. Everyone's still heading in the right direction as Matt Rigby continues on his merry way. We've got a problem in the hairpin for Brendan Gillen. He's parked it on the infield. Brings on a yellow light. Matt Rigby making every post a winner in the Division 2s here tonight. Heading up the main straightaway for the restart. Matt Rigby trying to make it 3 from 3. The lights are green, off and running. Sarah Franz behind him, Jessica Raymond, Trent Humphreys and Troy Sismay. And they have cleared away straight away the front 5 cars from Alan Hughes. Doing battle back there with Darren Lyon and Brett Baxter trying to come from the back of the pack through the hairpin and up the main straightaway. It is car number 28 of Matt Rigby. Sarah Franz in behind there. Jessica Raymond having a little bit of a look down on the inside this time. Next one through there is Trent Humphreys. Troy Sismay is right on his hammer, and Brett Baxter has broken through that next pack of cars and is setting sail after the lead 5 up the main straightaway. Matt Rigby, too good at the moment from Sarah Franz. Next one through would be Jessica Raymond, still working her way down on the inside. Trent Humphreys, Troy Sismay, Brett Baxter. Then we go back to Darren Lyon with Alan Hughes right up against the boards, and Tegan Jennings up the main straight away. A challenge for second place out of the hairpin. And it is Jessica Raymond who's moved up one more into position 2. Now set sail to try and chase down Matt Rigby, who has a commanding lead at the moment. Matt Rigby, Jessica Raymond. In there is Sarah Franz in front of Trent Humphreys, who also is having a little bit of a look down on the inside. Troy Sismay, just a couple of laps remaining. Chasing hard is Brett Baxter, but he's going to run out of race room this time. Down the back straight away, Matt Rigby is a lap and a little bit away from making it 3 out of 3 for tonight's heats. Back behind him, Jessica Raymond. In trouble in the hairpin is Sarah Franz in car 36. Gets cleaned up by Troy Sismay. Some problem, I think, with car 36 on the outside of the front wheel. And she pulls on to the infield, but into the hairpin for the last time and up the main straight away. It is all Matt Rigby. Takes the checkered flag. Back behind will be Jessica Raymond into position number 2. From Troy Humphreys in 3. Brett Baxter would be the next one. Getting across the line then is Darren Humphreys over Troy Sismay. Tegan Jennings would be the next one home from Alan Hughes. Sarah Franz gets across the line, as does Rod Rasker. And car 17 will be a great charge from the front line of Brett Baxter. Jessica Raymond in the second row, along with Sarah Franz. Tegan Jennings would be the next one. Troy Sismay on the outside. Trent Humphreys along with Darren Lyon. That's the next row. Brendan Gillen would be on the inside of the next row. Just trying to pick up who's outside of him. It is car 17, that of Peter Stolzenberg. And right at the back on his first evening here on the mountain is Rod Rasker in car number 96. Good field of Division 2s to face the starter in the 20-lap feature. Main straightaway, lights are green, off and running, and it is Matt Rigby versus Brett Baxter. The Commodores side by side to the top corner. We've got Tegan Jennings going the wrong way up the hill. Will that cause a yellow one? Yes, it will. So we'll do it all again. Looking for a green light start. Off and running on the outside, Brett Baxter. Down on the inside, Matt Rigby. The two of them side by side to the top corner, trying to find a way between either of the Commodores. Here's Jessica Raymond in position number 3 in front of Sarah Franz. Troy Sismay would be the next one as Brett Baxter inherits the race lead through the hairpin for the first time over Matt Rigby. Back behind them, Jessica Raymond in front of Sarah Franz. Troy Sismay is car number 43. Trent Humphreys would be the next one, Alan Hughes, and they have shuffled Tegan Jennings back down the pack a little bit, as Brendan Gillen would be the next one on the racetrack as they're moving up to put 2 laps down on the journey for Brett Baxter over Matt Rigby, who's in hot pursuit in position number 2. Next one through there, Jessica Raymond has opened up a little bit of a gap over Sarah Franz. Troy Sismay, who's coming back into the grips of Trent Humphreys, and behind them is Darren Lyon, and then Tegan Jennings through the hairpin again. It is still Brett Baxter. Clean pair of heels from car number 5 to the better of Matt Rigby. And they've stretched the lead a little bit on Jessica Raymond, who has got a big lead then back to Sarah Franz in front of Troy Sismay as they go through the hairpin yet again and up the main straightaway. Matt Rigby is very close to Brett Baxter, working away on the inside of him. Those two cars careering away. The one in front of them right now is Brendan Gillen, who has given the concrete another little bit of a nudge in car number 92. So he's about to be put a lap down very early in the event as Brett Baxter and Matt Rigby continue their battle at the front of the field. Jessica Raymond is back there in position number 3 and still chasing hard. In 4 would be Sarah Franz. Trent Humphreys has moved up 1. Troy Sismay seems to be in a little bit of trouble in car number 43. Has pulled right out of the race line and is dropping right back very quickly through the pack. And will try to get it onto the infield, which he's done. The race leaders up on the lap traffic. The first one of those is Brendan Gillen and then Rod Raska as they roll down the back straightaway. Is this a chance for Matt Rigby? Brett Baxter, Matt on the inside, Matt Rigby. Rod Raska holds his line. Brett Baxter in trouble, gets it going the wrong way. Here comes Jessica Raymond as well. Matt Rigby down the inside, yellow lights are on. The rear of the pack. Look for the green one as we start. There it is, off and running. Brett Baxter, Jessica Raymond. Sarah Franz will want to get by the lap car very quickly. Trent Humphreys is there as well, along with Darren Lyon and Tegan Jennings as they head to the hairpin. It is Brett Baxter to the better of Jessica Raymond. Back then to Sarah Franz. Trent Humphreys, Darren Lyon, Tegan Jennings trying to put a lap on car number 96 and coming right from the back of the pack now. Matt Rigby in car number 28. He's got the length of the back straight away to work out. He's got past 3 or 4 cars already. So he's a man on a mission from the back of the pack. He's got 11 laps to do it. Brett Baxter is car 5. Jessica Raymond 30. Sarah Franz struggling now to hold on to 3rd position because Trent Humphreys is right in the mix. We've lost car 28 on the hairpin. He's got to do it all over again from the back of the field as Sarah Franz goes very high. Trent Humphreys looks up underneath. Can he do it? He can't this time. Sarah Franz fights on in position number 3, but coming under plenty of pressure from Trent Humphreys down on the inside. Then Darren Lyon as they're in the hairpin again. Brett Baxter to the better of Jessica Raymond. Those two, we've got Alan Hughes giving the fence a bit of a nudge down the back straight away. The lights are on. So we'll stack them up again. Heading for a green one, off and running Brett Baxter. Good jump from the restart to the better of Jessica Raymond. With Sarah Franz right in the mix as well. Trent Humphreys gets a little bit of a nudge and around he goes. Into the hairpin again. Yellow light comes on. Plenty of time for him. Back there with him is Matt Rigby, still trying to get up for a major placing as the lights go green. We're off again with Brett Baxter, Jessica Raymond, Sarah Franz. Trent Humphreys has a bit of a look underneath. Tegan Jennings is in the mix as well. A little bit of nose to tail stuff around the top corner. Back behind them is Brendan Gillen as they come to the hairpin. It's Brett Baxter to the better of Jessica Raymond. Sarah Franz gives the wall a nudge. Is that enough for Trent Humphreys to get up one? No, it's not. Tegan Jennings is still in there. Here comes Matt Rigby up underneath Brendan Gillen. He's up there to position number 7 and coming on through the hairpin. It's still car number 5, Brett Baxter. Going to be a change in the minor placings as Trent Humphreys has got up on the inside of Sarah Franz. Shuffles her back. Tegan Jennings is trying to go through there as well. Sarah Franz shuts the door on her and around goes Tegan Jennings in the top corner. through the hairpin. Will Tegan be able to get the car started? Probably not. As car number 5 arrives on the scene, that of Brett Baxter, who had opened up a little bit of a gap. Sarah Franz would be the next one. Have a look. 6 to go. Up the main straight away. It's been a long affair for the Division 2s. Brett Baxter in front of Jessica Raymond. The next one in there, Trent Humphreys getting a little bit of excited, gives Jessica a bit of a helping hand around the top corner, then comes charging underneath as they arrive at the hairpin. He's going to keep her out nice and wide and will move into position number 2. Here comes car number 28, Matt Rigby's up one more place, shuffles Sarah Franz back through the top corner as Jessica Raymond tries to return the favour. It didn't quite work. Brett Baxter holds on into the hairpin. Brett Baxter from Trent Humphreys. Next one there is Jessica Raymond. We got a problem then with Brendan Gillen. He keeps things mobile though, and now we got a problem on the top corner with Peter Stolzenberg as the lead cars go by him. Laps running down. They're coming up very quickly on to Tegan Jennings. The race leader is Brett Baxter. Peter Stolzenberg now holding up. Jessica Raymond gets through. Trent Humphreys can't. Going with them is Matt Rigby as Peter Stolzenberg is the lap car. They move him out of the road. It's all Brett Baxter now. Tegan Jennings is the next lap car. She's between the race leader and Jessica Raymond with just 2 laps to go as Matt Rigby is all over Trent Humphreys as they go to the top corner with about a lap and a half to go. Brett Baxter, a lap and a half from 3 feature race wins in a row through the ex-junior as he heads up the main straight away. The white flag is there. Jessica Raymond in 2. Trent Humphreys holding on for 3 with Matt Rigby still looking for that major podium finish. Has a look down on the inside through the top corner. Trent Humphreys goes a little wide. It's a neck and neck battle down the back shade into the hairpin for the last time. Up the main straight away and Brett Baxter takes the checkered. Jessica Raymond home in 2nd place. It's very close for 3rd. We'll wait for the officials as the remainder of the field comes across the line. Put your hands together, folks, for Brett Baxter. Feature race winner here at the last meeting. Went to Maryborough last weekend, won the Division 2 feature and has come back out here tonight to win 2nd feature in a row on the mountain. So good drive to Brett Baxter. Jessica Raymond in for 2nd place and he fought his way back from the back of the pack. Matt Rigby it was, got himself up into position number 3. As the Super Streets will be the next ones onto the racetrack, will be put up higher on the track to pack it down a little bit nice and loose right up near the concrete. We'll be underway with heat number 1 of the Super Streets over the 8-lap journey very shortly. And Rodney Madalo out of the Sunshine Coast is car number 37. Green light off and running and Justin Jenkins heads into the race lead, says catch me if you can. Lee Steffens goes with him. Rodney Madalo muscles his way through from the back. Has got Darren Brady having a bit of a look down the inside as they head down into the hairpin for the first time and turning it around the wrong way. Darren Brady saves it though, continues on his way. Can he get across the big hump that's there? and get the car back on the racetrack as our race leaders go through the top corner. Rodney Madolo finding a bit of space underneath Lee Stephens. Through the hairpin we go. Justin Jenkins, Rodney Madolo. The car bogging down a little bit through the hairpin. Finds plenty of revs though around the canteen corner, being hotly pursued by Lee Stephens. As overdoes things in the top corner. Drops right off the pace. Car 13 is still there. That's Jason Rees. And after his little encounter, facing nose first into the concrete, Darren Brady is definitely in danger of being lapped by Justin Jenkins. Rodney Madolo still chasing hard in position 2. Lee Stephens throws it into the hairpin. Rodney Madolo with the big lose in Pagel's corner. Lee Stephens just went straight down the inside of him. Rodney Madolo probably stalled the car up there, can't get it going as Justin Jenkins arrives through the dipper. Rodney Madolo throwing it into Pagel's corner with absolutely no chance. Rolling around looking for a green one and a restart to heat one of the super streets as Justin Jenkins puts the loud pedal down with Lee Stephens right behind him. Slipping through into position number 3 is Darren Brady. Rodney Madolo straight underneath Jason Rees as well. And into 4 as they come into the hairpin corner. That's Justin Jenkins, the race leader, to the better of Lee Stephens. We've lost Rodney Madolo again, turning it around this time in the hairpin. So he's having a forgetful event as well, as Jason Rees' car just sounds dreadful as it goes past the broadcasting box. Back at the front of the pack though, Justin Jenkins doing everything the right way. In front of Lee Stephens, next one back there doing a good job is Darren Brady in car number 27. A long way back you'll find Jason Rees now in trouble in the hairpin, and with him is Rodney Madolo. Closer towards the front of the field now with Justin Jenkins and Lee Stephens, with just a couple of laps remaining in the event. So Justin Jenkins holding Lee Stephens at bay, and Darren Brady back in position number 3. Rodney Madolo would be the next one. And I think Jason Rees will succumb to whatever the engine problems are as they take the white flag. And only one to go for Justin Jenkins. Through the top corner he goes. Lee Stephens is close enough, if good enough, as they roll down the back chute to the hairpin for the last time. Lee Stephens locking up the wheels, trying not to come in contact with Justin Jenkins. He holds him at bay, takes the checkered flag. Lee Stephens for 2. Darren Brady across the line in position number 3, and we'll wait for Rodney Madolo to complete the journey in 4, with Jason Rees the other one to complete the 8-lap journey. With Rodney Madolo on the inside of the front row. Darren Brady is car 27 on the outside the front row. Jason Rees is in car 13. Justin Jenkins in 1, and Lee Stephens at the back as the lights go green. Off and running, and it is indeed Rodney Madolo. Can he keep it pointing in the right direction this time for the distance of the event? Plenty of power under the foot in car number 37. He's leading Darren Brady into the hairpin for the first time. Rodney Madolo, next one would be car number 27, Darren Brady in behind him, Justin Jenkins. Lee Stephens would be the next one, and Jason Rees tailed out in car number 13 as they go round the top corner, with Rodney Madolo getting it a little bit crossed up as they head towards the hairpin. Rodney Madolo is the race leader. Darren Brady holds on to 2. Justin Jenkins coming under some pressure from Lee Stephens. The 2 of them side by side as they put another lap down on the journey, with Jason Rees, the one right at the back of the pack as they head down the back chute. It is Rodney Madolo, the race leader, in front of Darren Brady, Justin Jenkins and Lee Stephens. with Jason Reese just watching them from way back there in car number 13. They go round the top corner. Rodney Madolo, here comes Justin Jenkins having a little bit of a look down on the inside of Darren Brady. Can't do anything about it. Lee Steffens is right there as Justin Jenkins gets up on the infield, and Lee Steffens gives him a bit of a whack. Nowhere really for Lee to go, but I think has done some damage perhaps to the back of car number 1, although he's back on the racetrack just to check to make sure everything's working still okay. The race leader is in the hairpin and heading up the main straightaway. That's Rodney Madolo. Darren Brady holds on to position number 2, and Lee Steffens now in 3rd. Back then we've got Jason Reese will be now in front of Justin Jenkins, who will want to get off the tail of the field in car number 1. No change to the order. Rodney Madolo continuing on his winning way at the front of the pack, has got 2 laps to go in the event. Darren Brady doesn't seem to be able to close the gap on him. Back then to Lee Steffens, who's also difficulty closing the gap as Justin Jenkins has got himself off the tail of the field, and Jason Reese again in trouble with car number 13. Through the dipper for Rodney Madolo for the last time, to the better of Darren Brady. Right behind him is Lee Steffens, looking to get to position number 2. Justin Jenkins has got it facing the wrong way, saves it into the hairpin for the last time. Rodney Madolo's flattened the tyre and will not hold on to win. Darren Brady down on the inside would have got it. Rodney Madolo in for position number 2. Lee Steffens to 3. Justin Jenkins to complete the journey in 4. And Jason Reese almost. He's nearly there, got it wrong in the hairpin. Hard luck there for Rodney Madolo. The tyre giving out in the last entrance into the hairpin. Okay, off roll the Super Streets. Race leader, leading them away, car number 4 will be Lee Steffens. Down on the inside of the front row has Darren Brady on the outside as the lights turn green, off and running. Lee Steffens gets the better of the jump from the inside. Darren Brady comes across, holds on to the race line as they go round the top corner for the first time. Lee Steffens, Darren Brady, Rodney Madolo and Justin Jenkins with Jason Reese tailed out through the hairpin for the first time. Lee Steffens asking car Paul for a bit of the power that's under the bonnet. Through the top corner he goes. Darren Brady has got Rodney Madolo hot on his hammer, and Justin Jenkins is there as well. And Jason Reese, well, it's one of those nights the car just will not continue to run for him. Through the hairpin and up the main straightaway, Lee Steffens is car number 4, running away from Darren Brady in car 27. Back behind him is Rodney Madolo, still to the better of Justin Jenkins and Jason Reese. Lee Steffens, comfortable leader over Darren Brady, with Justin Jenkins giving Rodney Madolo a little bit of a move along as they head down towards through the dipper and into the top corner, and then straight into the inside front wheel of car number 37 for Justin Jenkins. He ended up with himself on the infield. And off he goes once again with some body damage to the inside of car number 37, and also no doubt to the outside of car number 1. While this is happening, Lee Steffens just careering away with this event. Darren Brady still chasing hard, but unable to close the gap. Rodney Madolo back there in 3rd. He too unable to get any closer to Darren Brady. Although he closes up a little bit this time around, Jason Reese again in trouble with car 13. as Lee Stephens comes up to put a lap on him. Jason Rees almost loses it in front of our race leader. He manages to get by the outside. We'll take the white flag this time up the main straightaway for Lee Stephens. In behind him is Darren Brady, Rodney Madolo. And Justin Jenkins. Into the hairpin for the last time for Lee Stephens in car number 4. And heads up the main straightaway at checkered flag time. Over Darren Brady, next run home Rodney Madolo. Justin Jenkins will be 4th across the line, and Jason Rees has completed the journey in car number 13. Should have Lee Stephens from pole. Darren Brady's had a good night in car 27. Justin Jenkins, outside of him is Rodney Madolo. And just hoping to finish will be Jason Rees in car number 13 as the light goes green. Off and running, and Lee Stephens leads them away from Darren Brady as they head towards the top corner. Darren Brady gets shuffled right back through the pack as Rodney Madolo arrives. A little bit of push and shove heading into the hairpin for the first time. Darren Brady on the outside comes to grips with Justin Jenkins, and it's really on in the middle of the pack. We've only got 3 cars and there's plenty of panel rubbing as Justin Jenkins wins that little encounter. Thank you very much, and holds on to position number 2. Darren Brady could only see the concrete coming his way. While this is happening, Lee Stephens has cleared away in car number 4. In fact, maybe there's something wrong with car 4. Yes, there is. Lee Stephens pulls it straight onto the infield. Justin Jenkins inherits the race lead, so hard luck there for Lee Stephens, commanding lead very early in the event, only to find himself on the infield. So Justin Jenkins, Rodney Madolo, Darren Brady and Jason Rees. With Glenn Pagel with the rebuilt car number 2 ready for his feature, trying to sort it out. But in the race lead, Justin Jenkins. Rodney Madolo, Jason Rees. Justin Jenkins, Rodney Madolo, Darren Brady, Jason Rees. That's the Super Streets on the racetrack. No change to the order. Justin Jenkins trying to stay in front of Rodney Madolo. We said earlier in the night, car 37 won the modified production feature race in Maryborough just last weekend. Back in its Super Street trim tonight. Steve Price behind the wheel when it runs as a modified. Rodney Madolo piloting it tonight. He's not given up the chase, but unable to close the gap on Justin Jenkins. Darren Brady still working away there in car number 27, and they're coming up very quickly on the very sick car number 13. That's been running like that all night. That's Jason Rees. Justin Jenkins puts a lap on him. Rodney Madolo and Darren Brady. With Jason Reeves, who'll just be happy, I guess, to get to the end of this one. But Justin Jenkins out holding on to the race lead to the better of Rodney Madolo, Darren Brady, and the other car out there is Jason Reeves. Hairpin turn and up the main straightaway. Justin Jenkins. Rodney Madolo. Darren Brady with Jason Reeves just crossing under the line as well. White flag, I think, will be waiting for them. Justin Jenkins, Rodney Madolo. Hasn't given up the chase, but has been unable to close the gap. Checkered flag time waiting for Justin Jenkins as he rolls through the hairpin and up the main straightaway for the last time. Take the Super Street feature from Rodney Madolo and Darren Brady, with Jason Reeves the only other one to complete the journey. Roll out for their feature race, giving car 27 a chance to change its wheels to get back out for the streets. Darren Brady taking it into third place in the Super Streets as the juniors roll out. Sedan changing the racing rubber off to get back to street sedan spec. So modified productions on the racetrack. Jason Campbell is car number 97 out of Brisbane. Outside of him, Craig Miller, one of the flyers in the modified ranks. In behind him in car number 4 is Gavin Fletcher. Glenn Pagel is car number 2. Gavin Lawrenson is in car number 11, and Steve Collins, the East Coast man, is car number 43. That's the field of modified productions to face the starter. Off and running in the heat 1 of the modifieds as Craig Mellor gets the better of the jump. Have a look at Glenn Pagel. Yes, have a look at him do. A 270 in Pagel's corner, the place to do it. Keeps it going and has given them the best part of the back straight away to chase. Craig Mellor is the race leader. Jason Campbell coming under siege from Gavin Lawrenson. Also in there in car number 4 is Gavin Fletcher. And they move Jason Campbell out of the way in car number 97. Back then to Steve Collins. And chasing them all is Glenn Pagel in car number 2 after a little excursion in the first heat. Craig Mellor through the dipper he goes. And around Pagel's corner, that's car number 6, the race leader. Comfortable leader over Gavin Lawrenson and Gavin Fletcher back there in position number 3. Next one through would be Jason Campbell. Long way back then to Steve Collins, about to be passed down on the inside by Glenn Pagel. Moves Steve Collins back to the back of the bus as they head down the back chute. It's all Craig Mellor. Through the hairpin he goes and up the main straight away. The active Tree Fellas Commodore has blitzed them. Chasing hard is Gavin Lawrenson, and still chasing him too is Gavin Fletcher in car number 4. As the boot lid a little loose there on car number 4 by the look of it as it heads into the hairpin corner yet again. Back behind them is Jason Campbell, who's going quicker on each outing here on the mountain. One of the new drivers to tackle the mountain in the Orange Falcon as they're right up now on Steve Collins in the hairpin. It is Craig Mellor. No contest as Gavin Fletcher moves up on the inside of Gavin Lawrence, and he'll have enough legs though in car number 11 to hold on to his second place. Gavin Fletcher moves down the inside. It's a battle royal for position number 2. Forget about the race leader, Craig Mellor. He's home and hose. He's got a lap to go. The excitement for position 2 as Fletcher again has a look down the inside of Gavin Lawrence, and he's able to hold him off through the dipper, and one more lap to go as they go round Pagels for the last time. Gavin Lawrenson has probably beaten off the challenge from Gavin Fletcher, who comes roaring in into the hairpin corner, but he can't pull it off. Craig Mellor's crossed the line to take it from Gavin Lawrence, and Gavin Fletcher back there to Jason Campbell in front of Glenn Pagel. And Steve Collins, the last one to greet the judge. And probably Gavin Fletcher very lucky to complete the journey with the boot lid of the car not looking too secure at all. Steve Collins rolling down the back chute for this outing of the Modified Productions. Has Glenn Pagel on the outside of him. Green one off and running and getting the jump on the outside. Glenn Pagel. Steve Collins in 43 pulls it straight onto the infield and out of the way. So again, problems being maintained in car number 43. He'll try and sort them out. The car just won't rev out though by the looks as he rolls it slowly into the hairpin. Jason Campbell holds on to 2. Craig Mellor's down behind him. Gavin Lawrenson is in line there with Gavin Fletcher, and they're all chasing Glenn Pagel. Jason Campbell to the better of Craig Mellor, gives the concrete a little touch. Into the hairpin he goes. Can he keep the Orange Falcon in second place? He's got him lining up behind him. Through the top corner, Glenn Pagel with the best part of the back straight lead over Jason Campbell. Craig Mellor's in there, and the 2 Gavins, Gavin Lawrence and Gavin Fletcher. That's the way they head up the main straight away, with scooting away out in front Glenn Pagel. Jason Campbell quickly into the top corner, but he's drifted offline, allowing Craig Mellor to be able to close up on him. Gavin Lawrenson is right on his hammer, and Gavin Fletcher, that's the way they go through the hairpin, with Jason Campbell really struggling to hold on to his second place, trying to make that Falcon nice and wide. Into the top corner it goes again drifts offline. Here comes Craig Mellor, but he hasn't got enough to get down the inside. Glenn Pagel is the race leader. Jason Campbell has got Craig Mellor this time up the inside. Moves him out of the road. Gavin Lawrenson goes through as well. Moves Jason Campbell to position number 4 in front of Gavin Fletcher. Through the hairpin and up the main straight away. The Garrett's Earth moving Commodore and Glenn Pagel with a commanding lead. The best part of a third of the lap back to Craig Mellor in front of Gavin Lawrence, and Gavin Fletcher's got by Jason Campbell. Moved him to position number 5 up the main straight away. The white flag waiting for Glenn Pagel. Craig Mellor won't give up the chase, but he's a long way behind. Gavin Lawrenson is in position number 3. Then we go to Gavin Fletcher. And at the back of the pack is Jason Campbell into the hairpin for the last time. He had a shocker the first time out. Has taken out heat number 2. Glenn Pagel across the line first. Craig Mellor greets the judge in position number 2. With a little bit of smoke right at the end out of car number 6 to the better of Gavin Lawrence and Gavin Fletcher and Jason Campbell. Behind the wheel of car number 11. Modified Productions for their 3rd and final. If you like Modified Production racing, Toowoomba is the place to be next Saturday night. The final round of the HDS series. And man, did they put on a show at Maryborough last weekend. Toowoomba for the final round will be a fantastic night of racing as the modifieds roll around looking for an immediate start. Craig Mellors in 6. Gavin Fletcher, Glenn Pagel, Jason Campbell, Gavin Lawrence, and that's the way they settle down at the top corner. Gavin Fletcher's got Craig Mellor, and now we got them all. And Jason Campbell was able to avoid the lot around the outside. We only had 6 of them. In the second row, along with Steve Collins, and at the back is Gavin Fletcher, off and running. Craig Mellor, Gavin Lawrenson, Jason Campbell, Gavin Fletcher, Steve Collins. The car won't go for him at all. Down the back chute and into the hairpin for Craig Mellor. In front of Gavin Lawrenson. The next one there is Jason Campbell in front of Gavin Fletcher. Starting to spread out a little bit as they go round the top corner, and it's Craig Mellor to the better of Gavin Lawrenson. Jason Campbell quickly through the hairpin that time, and Gavin Fletcher has turned car 4 around, but he's kept it going and will continue on as they're coming up quickly on Steve Collins, who calls the jam off and takes car 43 onto the infield. Up the main straight away for Craig Mellor. To the better of Gavin Lawrenson and Jason Campbell. The only other car left on the racetrack is Gavin Fletcher, and he is about half a lap down after a little bit of a spin in the hairpin corner. Through the hairpin for our race leader, Gavin Fletcher, Craig Mellor chasing down a win in the third round of heats over Gavin Lawrenson, Jason Campbell, Gavin Fletcher. That's the only 4 we've got left in the event. Gavin Lawrenson a little closer this time around, but he doesn't seem to be able to make much of an impression on the lead that Craig Mellor has got as they head towards the top corner. Craig Mellor, Gavin Lawrenson, Jason Campbell and Gavin Fletcher. No change to proceedings. They've only got a couple of laps left. Craig Mellor leading them fairly comfortably over Gavin Lawrenson. Back then to Jason Campbell. The only other one is Gavin Fletcher, who's got 2 laps to go. The white flag this time for Craig Mellor to the better of Gavin Lawrenson and Jason Campbell. And barring some major disaster, that'll be the way they'll finish. Into the hairpin for the last time for Craig Mellor as he heads up the main straight away. The checkered flag waits for him over Gavin Lawrenson. Jason Campbell chasing them up the main straight away will come home in position number 3. And Gavin Fletcher, after a little bit of an excursion in the hairpin, he hasn't quite got there yet. Heads up the main straight away to take the checkered flag. And position number 4. Before we're underway with the modified feature race. Craig Mellor's in 6, Gavin Lawrenson in 11. Be a big charge from the front. Gavin Fletcher and Jason Campbell. And right at the back with all the work to do from back there is Glenn Pagel. Rolling around looking for the green light as they roll up the main straight away, off and running. Craig Mellor versus Gavin Lawrenson. Mellor down the inside, Gavin Lawrenson on the outside. Side by side to the top corner, Gavin Lawrenson may get the better of it. Here comes Gavin Fletcher down the inside. Gavin Lawrenson, Gavin Fletcher on the inside. It's not over yet. Craig Mellor is in there, and it also is Glenn Pagel. Side-by-side action from the modified production, and Gavin Fletcher has somehow got car number 4 to the race lead from Gavin Lawrenson. They've shuffled Craig Mellor back into 4th position with the Glenn Pagel up there in 3. Gavin Fletcher, the race leader from Gavin Lawrenson. The next one through is Glenn Pagel in front of Craig Mellor, and at the back is Jason Campbell. Into the hairpin again for Gavin Fletcher. In front of Gavin Lawrenson. Glenn Pagel has a little bit of a look down the inside. Not going to work this time. They've dropped Craig Mellor right off. Here comes Glenn Pagel down the inside. Can he move into position number 2? He and Gavin Lawrenson side by side into the hairpin. Gavin Fletcher, the race leader, from the back of the pack. Glenn Pagel has got himself up into position number 2. In front of Gavin Lawrenson, Craig Mellor, and at the back is Jason Campbell. They're all setting sail after Gavin Fletcher in the red Cortina. Up through the hairpin he goes and up the main straightaway. Gavin Fletcher, Glenn Pagel chasing hard. Right behind him, Gavin Lawrenson, Craig Mellor, Jason Campbell. That's the way they've completed another lap of the journey. Into the hairpin again for Gavin Fletcher. Has the gap closed any this time around? Back then to Glenn Pagel, who's moved away just a little bit from Gavin Lawrenson. Craig Mellor would be the next one, and Jason Campbell at the back as they head down the back chute yet again. It is Gavin Fletcher in car number 4, the race leader. Right behind them, a big pack of cars headed by car number 2, Glenn Pagel. He's dropped off Gavin Lawrenson a little bit. And Craig Mellor with Jason Campbell at the back. Glenn Pagel, I think, has closed the gap just a little that time around. Gavin Fletcher, Glenn Pagel. Back then to Gavin Lawrenson, Craig Mellor, Jason Campbell. Gavin Fletcher still leads them down the back chute and into the hairpin again. Gavin Fletcher in front of Glenn Pagel. Gavin Lawrenson, Craig Mellor, Jason Campbell. No change to the order, but if anything, Glenn Pagel is slowly closing the gap on Gavin Fletcher. Down the back chute they go. They've dropped off Gavin Lawrenson into the hairpin. Gavin Fletcher, the race leader. Glenn Pagel not too far away now. Back then to Gavin Lawrenson, Craig Mellor and Jason Campbell. He's right on his hammer as they go through the top corner. Gavin Fletcher being hunted down by Glenn Pagel. He's right on him now as they come through the hairpin and up the main straightaway. Gavin Fletcher, Glenn Pagel, Gavin Lawrenson, Craig Mellor into the top corner. And around the top corner for Gavin Fletcher. Glenn Pagel, he's close enough now. Big gap back to Gavin Lawrenson, Craig Mellor and Jason Campbell through the hairpin for Gavin Fletcher. Glenn Pagel is still hunting him down. Through the top corner for Gavin Fletcher. Down the back chute. He's opened up the gap just a little bit that time round over Glenn Pagel. Gavin Lawrenson, Craig Mellor up the main straightaway. There's 2 laps left. In the modified feature is Gavin Fletcher holding the race lead. Glenn Pagel has come from nowhere. He's right on his hammer. Gap back to Gavin Lawrenson, Craig Mellor and Jason Campbell up the main straightaway. The white flag for Gavin Fletcher. One to go for him with Glenn Pagel having a look down the inside. Can't do it through the top corner. Gavin Fletcher, Glenn Pagel right on his hammer into the hairpin for the last time. Through the hairpin, Gavin Fletcher in a great drive from the back. Will take out the feature race from Glenn Pagel. Back then to Gavin Lawrenson in front of Craig Mellor. And Jason Campbell, the last one to greet the judge. Put your hands together, folks. Great drive from Gavin Fletcher. career through from the back of the pack. David Kent is car number 55. 35 is Craig Franz. Okay, we've got David Kent off pole. Looks like Doug Rigby moves himself up to the outside of the front row. Neil Caldulis would be the next one. Beside him is Christian Walker. Rolling around looking for a start in the streets. Be a good charge from the front. David Kent. On the outside of him is Doug Rigby. Neil Caldulis tucked in there too, along with Christian Walker. And they arrive at the top corner. We've still got them two abreast around Pagels. They go on the outside. It is Doug Rigby who gets the better of the encounter. Christian Walker going with him. David Kent's got it turned around the wrong way. Has given Neil Caldulis a bit of a workout. Lester Wilcox in the wrong place at the wrong time as well. Mark Raymond escaped down the inside. But it was car 55. David Kent getting it all wrong. Mark Raymond's in 30. Back there with Craig Franz. Off and running. And it's Neil Caldulis leading them to the top corner for the first time. Tim Aitken is tucked in on the inside of Doug Rigby. Here comes Christian Walker down the inside into position number 3 with Sid Whittaker down on the inside of Lester Wilcox. Those two rubbing wheels coming out of the hairpin and up the main straightaway. The race leader is Neil Caldulis, coming under a lot of pressure from Tim Aitken. Back then to Christian Walker. To the better of Doug Rigby. Lester Wilcox would be the next one, with Craig Franz coming from the back of the pack up there into position number 6, ending Sid Whittaker back 1. Mark Raymond would be the next one into the side of Sid Whittaker. He goes. Car number 55, David Kent, and right at the back, Keith Baxter is behind the wheel of car number 5 as they settle down the back straight away. Neil Caldulis in the Falcon, car number 8, leads Tim Aitken through the hairpin corner, losing contact just a little bit back there in position number 3 is Christian Walker. Back behind him in 27 is Doug Rigby. In front of Lester Wilcox, Craig Franz would be the next one. Mark Raymond's in car 30. Sid Whittaker in front of David Kent, and right at the back is Keith Baxter. Our race leader heading up the main straightaway again, Neil Caldulis. Car number 8 in the lead over Tim Aitken. Bit of a gap back, then we go to Christian Walker, who is basically by himself now in position 3. They've dropped off Doug Rigby. Lester Wilcox trying desperately to get up on the tail of car number 27. Craig Franz would be the next one, and then Mark Raymond through the dipper. It is Neil Caldulis. He won't want to put a foot wrong now because very close behind him, Tim Aitken. Bit of a gap back to Christian Walker, and about an equal gap back then to Doug Rigby as through the hairpin they go, and up the main straightaway. Neil Caldulis is the race leader. Tim Aitken chasing him. They've got 2 to go. Through the top corner it is for Neil Caldulis. Tim Aitken. He won't go away. He's very close as they arrive at the hairpin. The white flag will wait for them this time around. Neil Caldulis drifting through the hairpin. Up the main straightaway he goes. Tim Aitken in position number 2. Christian Walker is a safe third in front of Doug Rigby, who's got Lester Wilcox, Craig Franz and Mark Raymond interested in position number 4 in the hairpin. For the last time it is Neil Caldulis up the main straightaway. And the yellow cab's going to take it out as the checkered flag is shown. Neil Caldulas from Tim Aiken. Third home in the event was Christian Walker. In front of Doug Rigby with Craig Franz getting up one more position over Lester Wilcox right at the death of the event in front of Mark Raymond. Next one through there would be Sid Whittaker, having his first drive in a tin top for a long, long time. Lights are out, so going racing in the street sedans. Be a big charge from the front, Craig Franz versus Christian Walker. Watch for a green one as they roll up towards the start-finish line. A little bit slippery coming out of the hairpin means everybody's moved up just a little bit on the racetrack. Craig Franz hangs the tail of the Falcon 35 with Christian Walker on the outside. They're still side by side round the top corner, but it's Christian Walker who gets the better of the encounter and into the race lead as they roll into the hairpin. Christian Walker in front of Craig Franz. Next one there would be Sid Whittaker in front of Neil Caldulas, Lester Wilcox and Tim Aiken doing a little bit of panel rubbing, and in there now too is Mark Raymond. They've dropped off David Kenton. At the back is Doug Rigby in car number 27. So plenty of action still in the pack as Lester Wilcox and Tim Aiken come to grips against the concrete, and Mark Raymond trying to take advantage of that down on the inside as Lester Wilcox still in a bit of trouble coming out of the hairpin with Tim Aiken getting the inquiry flag. Lester Wilcox showing the battle scars in car number 56, and they've dropped right off Doug Rigby. They've dropped him right out of contention at the back of the pack. We go back to Christian Walker as the race leader over Craig Franz. He's right on his boot lid this time as they roll up the main straightaway. Long way back to Sid Whittaker, doing a good job in car number 7, holding up Neil Caldulas. Tim Aiken thinks of a way underneath. It's not there. Mark Raymond would be the next one. A long way back to David Kent. Then Lester Wilcox with Doug Rigby in hot pursuit through the hairpin corner. Side by side this time as Craig Franz gets up on level terms with Christian Walker, who's able to keep him at bay through the top corner. Christian Walker fighting back on the outside. Good race for the first position, holds onto it as they head towards the hairpin. He won't want to leave too big a gap again for Craig Franz to have another look down the inside. Up the main straightaway, Christian Walker, Craig Franz. We go back to Sid Whittaker. Neil Caldulas in front of Tim Aiken and Mark Raymond. At the front of the pack, Craig Franz trying to move down on the inside of Christian Walker, unable to do it. There's action back into third place as well. Is Sid Whittaker versus Neil Caldulas through the hairpin. Christian Walker able to hold them at bay, but Neil Caldulas is able to move. Sid Whittaker out of the way. Tim Aiken having a bit of a look down on the inside of Sid Whittaker as well. Moves him out of harm's way and takes him up very high. The advantage to that is Mark Raymond, who slips straight underneath both of them and in a position number 4. The white flag waiting for Christian Walker, who seems to have beaten off the challenge from Craig Franz. One in trouble is Sid Whittaker, doing battle now with David Kent, and also in trouble is Tim Aiken. Neil Caldulas with some smoke coming out of the back of car number 8, but it's all Christian Walker. Takes the checkered in front of Craig Franz. Neil Caldulas will hold on to finish third in front of Mark Raymond. Next one home would have been David Kent. Sid Whittaker, a little bit like a punching bag that time out. Lester Wilcox in front of Doug Rigby. Out there has a busy night. Doug Rigby behind the wheel this time. Lester Wilcox on the outside is in car number 56. Tim Aiken is back there in car number 15. Christian Walker is in 7. That's the yellow car number 7. Sid Whittaker is in the other car 7, behind him in the third row. Mark Raymond would be the next one in car number 30. Craig Franz is in car 35. David Kent's in 55, and at the back this time, Neil Caldulis in the yellow cab, number 8. Light still flashing, so we'll do another lap on the racetrack. Just settle the water in just a little bit more before we get underway with this heat of the streets. Good class field of street sedans here. Tim Aiken, Christian Walker, Sid Whittaker, Mark Raymond, Craig Franz, David Kent off and running. We go on the outside. The better of the jump it will be to Lester Wilcox. Have a look at Christian Walker right around the outside. They have swamped Doug Rigby in car number 27 as Lester Wilcox is the race leader to the hairpin for the first time. Tim Aiken down nice and low coming into the hairpin. Christian Walker holds the line on the outside and will hold on to his position number 2 as Doug Rigby fights around the outside of Tim Aiken and moves into position number 3. Lester Wilcox having trouble getting the car to come around on the top corner. In trouble looks like Christian Walker pulls the car to the infield and out of this event as they go through the hairpin again. Another one parked on the infield is Sid Whittaker as David Kent turns it around on the hairpin corner, manages to get it back online. We got Carl minus a wheel is indeed Neil Caldulis. Got the car onto the infield. The wheel finally came back to him and remodelled another panel on the taxi. Sid Whittaker will be able to rejoin the event in the Sunshine Coast, car number 7. Lights are out, so it looks like we're going back racing in the streets with Lester Wilcox, car number 56, leading the way as the race is restarted from Doug Rigby. Tim Aiken is in there along with Mark Raymond. Next one through would be David Kent, and at the back is Sid Whittaker as Mark Raymond drives around the outside of Tim Aiken. Around the top corner and into position number 3. They're trying to move now down on the inside of Doug Rigby in car number 27. Can't do it while this is happening. Lester Wilcox is starting to steal a bit of a march on them in car number 56. Back to Doug Rigby. Mark Raymond in front of Tim Aiken. Behind them is David Kent, and at the back is Sid Whittaker. Into the hairpin for Lester Wilcox. To the better still of Doug Rigby with Mark Raymond working away on the inside. Can't get that run that he wants off the hairpin. Slots back in behind him. Back into position number 3. Tim Aiken not far away. Nose to tail those cars through the top corner with Tim Aiken trying to have a look down the inside of Mark Raymond. It's not there. Into the hairpin we go for Lester Wilcox. Through the hairpin and up the main straightaway to the better of Doug Rigby, who's got his hands full with Mark Raymond, who has also now got Tim Aiken, giving him plenty in the boot as they come under the control tower. Back then to David Kent, and at the back is Sid Whittaker. So the battle royal is for position number 2. Lester Wilcox has cleared away in this one. We'll follow the cars battling out for position number 2. Mark Raymond gets up a little closer that time. Tucks in behind Doug Rigby with Tim Aiken right on his hammer. Back then to David Kent and Sid Whittaker. Through the top corner they go. Doug Rigby doing a great job. Holding on to position number 2, making the blue Commodore just as wide as he can. Up the main straight away for Lester Wilcox. Here comes Mark Raymond. Nearly enough room. Up the inside. But Doug Rigby fights back in car 27. Tim Aiken is still there in 15. Mark Raymond again has a look down the inside. He's overdone it and loses off. Tim Aiken drives around the outside into position 3. At Lester Wilcox it will be up the main straight away. Takes the checkered flag and a win in the 3rd round of heats. We got one in trouble. Sid Whittaker right on the last hairpin corner. Doug Rigby in for 2 in front of Tim Aiken. Mark Raymond David Kent, and a flat tyre it seems for Sid Whittaker. He rolls it across the line to complete the journey. Good win to Lester Wilcox. Out of pole, car number 7 is Christian Walker. Outside of him is car number 8 of Neil Caldoulis. Tim Aitken is car 15. Lester Wilcox is in 56. 27's back for some more. Doug Rigby behind the wheel. This time Mark Raymont's in 30. Car number 7, the blue one, is Sid Whittaker, and 55. At the back at the moment is David Kent. Off and running in the street feature with Neil Caldoulis getting the better of the jump from the outside over Christian Walker. Here comes Tim Aitken into position number 3, and they're charging behind him. Lester Wilcox would be the next one in car number 56. Down low on the racetrack is Doug Rigby, and Mark Raymond is in 30. Sid Whittaker's in trouble, holds onto it, but pulls onto the infield. David Kent goes by him through the hairpin. It's Neil Caldoulis. Christian Walker has a think of an insider. It's not there. Tim Aitken would be the next one. Back to Lester Wilcox. Mark Raymont's got himself up into position number 5 in front of Doug Rigby. David Kent, and right at the back is Sid Whittaker. So Neil Caldoulis leads them through the hairpin yet again with car number 7 not far away. That's Christian Walker. Tim Aitken, Lester Wilcox, Mark Raymond, and then Doug Rigby. The action right up the front. Christian Walker right on the hammer of Neil Caldoulis as they go through the hairpin yet again and up the main straightaway. Neil Caldoulis, Christian Walker. Tim Aitken is very close now. They've dropped off Lester Wilcox. Mark Raymond is in there, as is Doug Rigby. David Kent and Sid Whittaker in car 7 unable to go the distance at the moment, has dropped right out of contention. Neil Caldoulis around the hairpin. Christian Walker again thinks of an inside one, and again it's not there. Tim Aitken is right on his hammer, and Neil Caldoulis goes a little high. Here comes Christian Walker down the inside. Can he make it stick as they arrive at the hairpin? Neil Caldoulis fights back on the outside. Both of them concentrating with each other as Tim Aitken slips down the inside into position number 2. So they shuffle. Neil Caldoulis back to 3rd. Christian Walker is the race leader. Tim Aitken, Neil Caldoulis back to 3rd. The next one then will be Lester Wilcox in front of Mark Raymond and car number 27 of Doug Rigby, as Tim Aitken has a look down the inside of Christian Walker, who fights back on the outside to keep him at bay. Round the top corner, he opens the door again for Tim Aitken. The two cars together into the hairpin. Christian Walker, Tim Aitken. Back behind them is Neil Caldoulis as Tim Aitken again up the inside. Christian Walker holds on. Through the top corner he goes. Tim Aitken not far away. They've dropped off Neil Caldoulis as well as Lester Wilcox, Mark Raymond and Doug Rigby. Again out of the hairpin. Christian Walker leaves. Tim Aitken a bit of a gap. He tries to poke the nose of car 15 up on the inside. Unable to do it. We've got David Kent on the infield as they head down the back chute. Christian Walker is the race leader. Through the hairpin and up the main straightaway to the better of Tim Aitken, who gets the nose under this time. Can he move him out of the way? We've lost another wheel off car number 8. The second one tonight for Neil Caldoulis. Brings on a yellow light for the restart with 10 laps remaining in the event. Can Christian Walker hold on? Tim Aitken applying plenty of pressure behind in car number 15 on the restart. Around the outside comes Mark Raymond with a big move on the outside of Lester Wilcox. The two of them fighting together into the hairpin. A little bit of a nudge there for Tim Aitken, and that puts him offline, but might shove him right up underneath Christian Walker, and will go into the race lead. Through the top corner he goes. Christian Walker tries to fight back. Lester Wilcox is there. Mark Raymond back then to Doug Rigby. Into the hairpin again for Tim Aitken. In the race lead now over Christian Walker. Mark Raymond in a bit of trouble coming out of the hairpin along with car 27 that has suffered some front end damage. Need some assistance to get him from the field. Off and running, Tim Aitken. Christian Walker got a yellow light. Look for a green one. Off and running in the restart, Tim Aitken leads them with 8 laps to go from Christian Walker. Lester Wilcox is in there as they come across the top corner in the mix as well. Mark Raymond trying to go down the outside of Sid Whittaker. Makes the racetrack a little bit wider as he right up against the concrete. Lester Wilcox up underneath. Christian Walker can't do anything about it. He fights back and holds on to position number 2. While this is happening, Tim Aitken running away with the race now. Through the hairpin he goes. Christian Walker holding on for position 2 as Lester Wilcox down the inside of him. It's a drag race up the main straightaway, but Christian Walker is able to hold on. Lester Wilcox in third, back then to Mark Raymond, back to Sid Whittaker and David Kent. Here comes Mark Raymond up the inside of Lester Wilcox this time. Moves into position number 2. While this is happening, Tim Aitken away and running in the front. Christian Walker back there in 2. Behind him now Mark Raymond, Lester Wilcox, Sid Whittaker and David Kent as they go round the top corner. Down the back straightaway, commanding lead for Tim Aitken in car number 15. Christian Walker now has Mark Raymond working at his tail. Up the main straightaway. Lester Wilcox right in this little dispute over second and third as those 3 cars go round the top corner. Tim Aitken the race leader. Christian Walker, Mark Raymond has a look down the inside and some problem there with car 7. I think the car has come to a halt. Coming out of the hairpin corner, he'll try desperately to get it off the racetrack, which he won't be able to. The car won't go that far for him. Three still to go. The lights are out. We're going to go racing again with only 5 of them left. It's not over yet though. Tim Aitken, Mark Raymond on the outside. Changes back to the inside. Lester Wilcox is there. Sid Whittaker, David Kent. That's the way they head down the back chute. Into the hairpin. Mark Raymond is right up underneath and gets his car turned around sideways. It tucked the nose in too far. Tim Aitken is the race leader. Lester Wilcox, Sid Whittaker, David Kent, and now Mark Raymond. The white flag, I think, is waiting into the hairpin and up the main straightaway. Tim Aitken, Lester Wilcox, Sid Whittaker. David Kent is number 55. A lapped car, so he's 1 lap down. Mark Raymond the last one. Through the hairpin for the last time and up the main straightaway, and Tim Aitken will hang on to win a rather eventful street sedan feature from Lester Wilcox. Next one home would have been Sid Whittaker. Mark Raymond, and I think you'll find car 55, a lap car, David Kent. And gets his lap of honour with the checkered flag as the Super Sedans line up for their feature event. Next one on the racetrack as car number 8, Neil Caldoulis, gets a helping hand from the Bill Fallon tractor for the second time tonight with only 3 wheels on the thing. So back to the drawing board for the yellow cab as the Supers roll on to the racetrack. Streets. We'll pick up the juniors for you. Brad Jennings is car number 22. Add Rima Pooley to the field, car number 21. Stephanie Rosso behind the wheel of car number 92. Tiffany O'Keefe's in 20. Carly Flavius is in car number 36. Car 1 on the outside, Brandon O'Keefe, current junior champion. Chris Pagel's in 6. Alicia Jochimson's in 4. Green one off and running. Michelle Flavius was the other one we were looking for in car number 35. And it's Brad Jennings who jumps into the race lead in car number 22 with Rima Pooley looking for the outside. Can't do it that time as they career down the back straight and into the hairpin. Just remember there's a corner there, Brad. Gets it a little high on the racetrack and Rima Pooley has a look down the inside and Rima Pooley will take over the race lead. After one lap down, we got a bit of a problem here with car number 92 it is. Of Stephanie Rosso getting herself around the wrong way, tucked in there. Tiffany O'Keefe nowhere to go. Looks like everything able to continue there with car number 92. Start to the juniors as they head up the main straightaway, nice and early. A green one. Brad Jennings gets the better of the start. Can he hold on to it this time with Rima Pooley around the outside on the top corner? Here comes car number 1, Brandon O'Keefe. We've got a bit of a problem back in the middle of the pack. They've sorted themselves out though. Tiffany O'Keefe was in there. Alicia Jochimson was the one who was worst out of that event up the main straightaway. Brad Jennings is the race leader from Rima Pooley in front of car number 1, that of Brandon O'Keefe, who's looking to get to the front. That's where he needs to be. Tiffany O'Keefe would be the next one. And Michelle Flavius from the back of the pack in car number 35. Through the hairpin. Brad Jennings doing a good job. Holds on to the race lead. Couple of laps down in the event. Has still got Rima Pooley chasing him and Brandon O'Keefe. Back then to Tiffany O'Keefe with Chris Pagel coming around the outside of Michelle Flavius. And into position number 5. Back then we go to Carly Flavius in front of Stephanie Rosso, and at the back Alicia Jochimson as they come through the hairpin. And Brad Jennings gets it all wrong heading for the concrete, allowing Rima Pooley to sneak through underneath. Going with him down on the inside is the big Falcon. Oh, Brandon O'Keefe through the top corner they go with Brad Jennings still wanting to argue the point. He runs out a racetrack up high towards the concrete. Have a look at Chris Pagel. He's the one making all the gains through the pack. He's up to position number 4. Can see the race leaders from where he is and is setting sail after them. Right in behind him is Tiffany O'Keefe and Michelle Flavius. That's the way they head towards the top corner again. Rima Pooley is the race leader. Brandon O'Keefe not far away this time in the hairpin. Back to Brad Jennings. Closing on every turn of the wheel is Chris Pagel chasing them down. Back behind them would be Tiffany O'Keefe and Michelle Flavius. The race leaders in the top corner. Down the back chute for Rima Pooley. Coming quickly up on Alicia Jochimson and Stephanie Rosso. who get the lapping flag to tell them there's a faster car. We've got problems for Rima Pooley. He takes car number 1 onto the infield. Brad Jennings around the outside. We got him 3 wide, and Rima Pooley shuts the door on Brad Jennings through the dipper to hold on to his race lead and losing it in the top corner. Car number 1, Brandon O'Keefe. Down the back chute, it's Rima Pooley. He's mixed up now amongst the lapping traffic. He gets the white flag, 1 to go. Brad Jennings is now in second place. Have a look who's behind him though. Chris Pagel has come from the clouds to be part of the final placings in this one. Rima Pooley has only got to negotiate the hairpin for the last time. Gets it up wide in the loose stuff. Alicia Jockimson is in there as well. Brad Jennings looks for the outside on her. Takes second place in front of Chris Pagel. Good run from Chris Pagel into position number 3. Tiffany O'Keefe would be the next one. Michelle Flavius in front of Brandon O'Keefe, who got taken onto the infield during the event. And Carly Flavius in car 36 completes the journey as well. With Brandon O'Keefe, the current Queensland champion, to lead them away. Well, he'll be looking for a racetrack for their next heat, with Brandon O'Keefe to lead them away. Car number 6 beside him is Chris Pagel, Alicia Jockimson. I think Michelle Flavius is outside the second row there. Tiffany O'Keefe is in the third row. Rima Pooley there. Carly Flavius as well, and at the back in car number 92 is Stephanie Rosso. The young fellow's got the grit between his teeth tonight. Car number 6, Chris Pagel, charges into the race lead and into the hairpin for the first of 8 times. Lets it drift out towards the concrete and leads the current Queensland champion Brandon O'Keefe. Caught him right at the start and caught him napping. Chris Pagel, Brandon O'Keefe, back then to Michelle Flavius, having a good drive in car number 35, back then to Alicia Jockimson. Tiffany O'Keefe would be the next one, and then Rima Pooley. So Chris Pagel is the race leader. Up the main straightaway to the better of car number 1 of Brandon O'Keefe. Michelle holding in third place. Alicia Jockimson in front of Brad Jennings, it is, in car number 22, Rima Pooley, and then Tiffany O'Keefe. Through the hairpin, Chris Pagel. Good job out the front of Brandon O'Keefe. Michelle Flavius would be the next one. All by herself in position number 3. Then Alicia Jockimson in front of Brad Jennings, Rima Pooley and Tiffany O'Keefe. So the action back there for position number 4. Got them all very close together. Through the hairpin and up the main straightaway, and Chris Pagel is holding that gap from Brandon O'Keefe, who doesn't seem to be able to close it on him. Michelle Flavius would be the next one. Alicia Jockimson now got them 2 and 3 wide behind her as Rima Pooley goes charging underneath and takes her up to the concrete. Brad Jennings says thank you. Tiffany O'Keefe says thank you. Both of them follow them through. We'll watch for Rima Pooley into the hairpin in front of Brad Jennings. The side by side up the main straightaway. Rima Pooley it will be who'll win that encounter. Down the back straightaway for our race leader. That is Chris Pagel. Brandon O'Keefe is still chasing. They're coming up quickly to Carly Flavius in car number 36. Can't be too many laps left in the event. In fact, there's only a couple. Through the top corner they go, and now Brandon O'Keefe a lot closer to car number 6 of Chris Pagel. Michelle Flavius pretty safe back there in position number 3, as long as you don't do anything too crazy. They're up on the lap traffic. Chris Pagel, 1 lap to go for him. The white flag out. He'll have to go around the outside of Carly. Doesn't. Comes back on the inside in the top corner. Carly Flavius only has to hold a line, which is what she's doing. Chris Pagel trying to find a way through. And here comes Brandon O'Keefe. They're going to fight it out right to the end. Stephanie Rosso, Carly Flavius, Chris Pagel down the inside eventually. He gets across the line to the better of Brandon O'Keefe back then. Car number 35, Michelle Flavius. We're going to have to wait a long time. Rima Pooley would be the next one in front of Brad Jennings. Tiffany O'Keefe is car number 20. And Alicia Jochimson in car number 4. Juniors back with Tiffany O'Keefe off the front row. Got Carly Flavius, I think, beside her. Off and running in the juniors, Tiffany O'Keefe, the better of the start. Have a look at Chris Pagel coming right around the outside. Carly Flavius is in there in position too, but for how long is Chris Pagel right around the outside? Carly Flavius overdoes things coming off the top corner. Tiffany O'Keefe, Chris Pagel right on a hammer as they head up the main straightaway for the first time. Brad Jennings would be the next one, and in behind them would be Michelle Flavius in car number 35. As around the outside and into the race lead goes Chris Pagel in car 6. Heading down the back chute he goes and starts to put some distance straight away between himself and the rest of the field. Chris Pagel over Tiffany O'Keefe. In there would be Brad Jennings. The next one is car number 22. Gives the fence a bit of a touch-up coming off the hairpin, taking Brandon O'Keefe down onto the inside, and he moves up into position 3 from the inside of the racetrack. Coming right around the outside would be Rima Pooley, now on the outside of Brad Jennings as they head down the back chute, and moves up to position 4. The race leader completes another lap in the journey. That's Chris Pagel going great guns out in front. Tiffany O'Keefe, Brandon O'Keefe chasing hard. Next one there would be Rima Pooley. The yellow lights are on. Stephanie Rosso is car 92. And Alicia Jochimson is car 4 as we head up the main straightaway. Green one off and running for Chris Pagel in the front of the pack. Over Tiffany O'Keefe, Brandon O'Keefe right on her hammer. Back then to Michelle Flavius looking for the outside pass. Brave move around the top corner. She tucks back in again. Carly Flavius overdoes things a little coming off the top corner. But in the hairpin, it's Chris Pagel leading them up the main straightaway. Tiffany O'Keefe doing a good job holding on to her second place. Over Brandon O'Keefe, who's right on her hammer. Back then to Michelle Flavius, who they've dropped off. Carly Flavius with the rest of the pack behind her. Have a look at the lead that Chris Pagel has put on the rest of the pack as he slides through the hairpin. Heads up the main straightaway for Tiffany O'Keefe. Brandon O'Keefe down the inside. It's a bit of a drag race up the main straightaway. Tiffany holds on. Brandon O'Keefe really giving her plenty at the back of the car. Michelle Flavius is there as well. Tiffany O'Keefe trying to hold on to position number 2. Here comes Michelle Flavius down the outside. Brandon O'Keefe tries to keep her out there as their race leader heads up the main straightaway. Chris Pagel puts another lap down on the journey. Tiffany O'Keefe doing a great job holding on to position number 2 to the better of Brandon O'Keefe. Back then to Michelle Flavius with Rima Pooley getting into a little bit of trouble on the inside of Carly Flavius. And Carly holds on, battles on into position number 5. 2 laps down for Chris Pagel. Can Tiffany O'Keefe hold on to second place? Round the top corner she goes. Brandon O'Keefe down the inside this time again. Heading into the hairpin corner, trying to force the gap underneath Tiffany in the Cortina. The white flag out, 1 to go for Chris Pagel. Tiffany O'Keefe, she's got 1 lap. Can she hold on? Brandon O'Keefe right on her hammer. Back then to Michelle Blavius. That's where the action is for position 2 and 3. She goes a little wide. Here comes Brandon O'Keefe down on the inside. She'll try and shut the door. Michelle Flavius tried for the outside pass. It didn't work. Chris Pagels won it up the main straight away. And Tiffany O'Keefe will hold on to finish in second place from Brandon O'Keefe. Michelle Flavius will wait a long time for Kelly to cross the line. There she goes in car number 36. Rima Pooley, and we've got a bit of a problem right at the back with Alicia Jochimson and Stephanie Rosso as Brad Jennings completes the journey as well. And car number 92 really with the battle scars on it tonight. Green one waiting, off and running, and the big charge from the outside is to Brandon O'Keefe over Chris Pagel. Michelle Flavius around the outside into position number 3. Tiffany O'Keefe would be the next one with Brad Jennings back in there to Rima Pooley and Alicia Jochimson at the back of the pack as Brandon O'Keefe starts to stretch the legs in the Queensland Championship car. Over Chris Pagel. Back then to Michelle Flavius in position number 3 in front of Tiffany O'Keefe would be the next one. Rima Pooley in car number 21. Brad Jennings is in 22, and at the back is Alicia Jochimson. Right now by how far for Brandon O'Keefe over Chris Pagel, but Michelle Flavius is very close back there in position number 3. Next one would be Tiffany O'Keefe in front of Rima Pooley, Brad Jennings and Alicia Jochimson. That's the way they put another lap down on the journey. It is Brandon O'Keefe in the Falcon, car number 1, leading the way into the hairpin turn. He goes to the better of Chris Pagel. Michelle Flavius, they've dropped off Tiffany O'Keefe a little bit. Next one through there is Rima Pooley, still locked in battle with Brad Jennings and Alicia Jochimson tailed out at the moment. Brandon O'Keefe with about the length of the back straightaway as his race lead. As he heads up now the main straightaway, car number 1 is the race leader. Chris Pagel unable to go the pace with him, dropping back further that lap around with Michelle Flavius not too far away in car number 35. Starting to get a little bit excited back there in position number 3. Had a bit of a think about an inside pass. Closes right up and goes down the outside into the hairpin. Something wrong with Chris Pagel's car. Perhaps the car slowed very quickly heading into the hairpin and is not pulled out of the hairpin all that well either. But Michelle Flavius goes straight into position number 2 as Chris Pagel drops back to 3. Next one through there is Tiffany O'Keefe, Rima Pooley. Then we go to Brad Jennings in front of Alicia Jochimson. The race leader has put another lap down on the journey. That is Brandon O'Keefe. Michelle Flavius now in trouble getting out of the hairpin, and Chris Pagel is able to slip by her and up into position number 2. But while this is happening, the race leader has disappeared. Up the main straightaway he comes yet again. Brandon O'Keefe in the Falcon number 1, the current junior street sedan champion. He's probably now about half a lap in front of Chris Pagel. The next one, Michelle Flavius, Tiffany O'Keefe in front of Rima Pooley. Brad Jennings is car number 22. Then we go to Alicia Jochimson in 4 as she takes the blue flag to hold her line to allow the race leader to go up through underneath, and that is Brandon O'Keefe. Chris Pagel puts another lap down on the journey. Michelle Flavius falling back a little bit into the clutches of Tiffany O'Keefe. who is still there in position number 4. Back then to Rima Pooley as Tiffany O'Keefe looking for the inside pass. Into the hairpin she goes. Will look to try and stay down low. Michelle Flavius gets through the hairpin a lot better that time. Tiffany O'Keefe still interested in third place. Rima Pooley not far away. Our race leader coming up on to Brad Jennings to try to put a lap on him as they head towards the top corner. Long way back in second place is Chris Pagel. We've got a bit of a problem in the hairpin with Michelle Flavius and Rima Pooley. And both of those cars left on the infield as our race leader puts another lap down on the journey. We'll take advantage of this. Brandon O'Keefe leads them up the main straight. Look for a green one. Off and running we go. Brandon O'Keefe, Chris Pagel, Tiffany O'Keefe, Brad Jennings, Alicia Jockimson and Rima Pooley. That's all we've got left in the junior feature. As they head around the top corner, it is Brandon O'Keefe able to stretch the legs in the Falcon over Chris Pagel. Through the hairpin and up the main straightaway. Tiffany O'Keefe holding on to a good third placing. From Rima Pooley back then to Alicia Jockimson. Through the top corner, Brandon O'Keefe. Chris Pagel can't go the pace with him. And Brandon O'Keefe starting to put a big gap between himself and Chris Pagel. He's got a bit of a gap back then to Tiffany O'Keefe. In front of Brad Jennings looking for the outside pass. Rima Pooley would be the next one and Alicia Jockimson. Top corner and Brandon O'Keefe overdoes things a little but was able to pull it up as he heads into the hairpin corner in front of Chris Pagel in car 6. Next one there, Tiffany O'Keefe doing a good job holding on to position 3. She's got the wobbles up though as Brad Jennings starting to apply the pressure a little bit. Back to Rima Pooley and Alicia Jockimson. So the action, I guess, is back here for third place because Brandon O'Keefe has run away. Chris Pagel pretty safe in position number 2. Tiffany O'Keefe, Brad Jennings overdoes it in the hairpin, gets the tail right around and allows Tiffany O'Keefe to scoot away. Next one there is Rima Pooley and back to Alicia Jockimson. Race leaders in the hairpin and heading up the main straightaway. It's Brandon O'Keefe doing a good job out in front. Chris Pagel holding on to a good second place. Tiffany O'Keefe would be the next one. Rima Pooley and now Brad Jennings settling down to battle out position number 4 and Alicia Jockimson at the tail of the field. Race leader puts another lap down. That's Brandon O'Keefe. So does Chris Pagel. Tiffany O'Keefe doing a good job holding on to position number 3. Out there pretty much by herself now as Brad Jennings doing battle with Rima Pooley. And Alicia Jockimson, the white flag out. Only one to go for Brandon O'Keefe. He's got probably a third of a lap lead over Chris Pagel as Brad Jennings gives the concrete a bit of a workout. Holding on to position number 4. Tiffany O'Keefe is in third. Alicia Jockimson and Brandon O'Keefe takes out the junior feature. Chris Pagel across the line in position number 2 and Tiffany O'Keefe will finish third. Next one across will be Brad Jennings in front of Rima Pooley. And Alicia Jockimson completes the journey in car number 4 in the junior street sedan feature as Brandon O'Keefe to take the checkered flag around for his lap of honour after a fairly easy win at the end in the junior feature. Good win to Brandon O'Keefe. Second home, Chris Pagel finishing off a good night for him in car number 6, and Tiffany O'Keefe as well, a good night for him, or for her, sorry, in car number 20. Okay, Maury Williams is in car number 23. Outside of him is Alex Jenner. Mark Pagel's in 4. Jeff Bingham will move up beside. Now, as the lights go out, ready for the start. Maury Williams is car number 23 off the front row. Alex Jenner is beside him in car number 6. Mark Pagel, one to watch back there in the second row on the inside of Jeff Bingham. Off and running they go. Good even start out of the front row with Alex Jenner on the outside of Maury Williams, and is able to hold on to that as they head down the back chute for the first time. As Bob Domjohn moves down the outside of David O'Keefe, but he's way off line coming into the hairpin. The race leader is Alex Jenner. Mark Pagel moving up underneath Maury Williams to move into position number 2. Maury Williams tucks the nose back underneath him to no avail. Next one is Jeff Bingham holding out. Behind him in car number 88 is Bobby Domjohn. In front of David O'Keefe. Coming from the back is Frank Armstrong, and relegated to the back of the pack in car number 75 is Paul Carlish. Alex Jenner with a big lead. We've got one in trouble, that is indeed Bob Domjohn in car number 88. Gets back on the racetrack though as David O'Keefe has a look down the inside of Jeff Bingham through the hairpin and up the main straight away. And David O'Keefe moves up into position number 4. In front of Bob Domjohn. Next one there will be Jeff Bingham in front of Frank Armstrong, and at the back is still Paul O'Keefe as Alex Jenner just careers away with this one. Mark Pagel's chasing him, but he's not able to make much of an indent onto that lead. In fact, Mark Pagel slowing coming off the top corner, so perhaps a few problems there with car number 4 as he's in second position, a long way in front of Maury Williams. In third, back to David O'Keefe, one in trouble. Coming out of the hairpin was indeed Bob Domjohn, and if anything it looked like the car might have stalled coming out of the hairpin. Back then behind him is Jeff Bingham in front of Frank Armstrong, and at the back is Paul Carlish as they've got just 2 laps of the Mother Mountain Circuit to go for Alex Jenner. Clear leader through the hairpin he goes and heads up the main straightaway in front of Mark Pagel, a distant second. Bit of a challenge here for position number 3 between Maury Williams and David O'Keefe. We'll watch those two as they head through the dipper and up to the top corner with Maury Williams holding on. David O'Keefe has a look down the inside. Pulls level, can't do it. Into the hairpin for the last time. Alex Jenner's taken it out from Mark Pagel up the main straightaway. Maury Williams will hold on to finish in position number 3 in front of David O'Keefe. The next one home in the journey would have been Bob Domjohn in 88 in front of Jeff O'Keefe, who I guess will be happy just to finish an event in front of Frank Armstrong. The last one home, Paul Carlish. Super Sedans are back for heat number 2. Paul Carlish on the inside, Bob Domjohn outside the front row. Alex Jenner's in car 6. David O'Keefe would be on the inside of the next row. Whether or not he moves up into the second row, we'll have to wait and see. Jeff Bingham's in car 7. Maury Williams is in car number 23. Mark Pagel in car 4. And Frank Armstrong is the addition to the program in car number 53. Lights have gone out They roll around. Paul Carlish on the inside of the front row. The lights are green and off and running. Paul Carlish, Bob Domjohn, David O'Keefe. They get towards the top corner. David O'Keefe having a look down the inside in the first corner. Can't do it. Paul Carlish holds him at bay. Have a look at Bob Domjohn. Not afraid to mix it with the V8s. In behind them is Alex Jenner. Getting very wide on the top corner is Jeff Bingham and allows most of the field to go by him. Paul Carlish is the race leader at the moment from Bob Domjohn. The next one there, David O'Keefe to the better of Alex Jenner. Maury Williams, Mark Pagel, back to Frank Armstrong, and at the back is Jeff O'Keefe as they head down the main straightaway. Put another lap down on the journey to Paul Carlish. A battle royal for second place. David O'Keefe on the inside. Have a look at Bob Domjohn. The man will not give in the six-cylinder Holden around the outside. He holds on to his second place. Car number 88, Bobby Domjohn versus David O'Keefe, who moves him out of the road this time. Can he hold on to two? Bob Domjohn hasn't had enough. Moves down on the inside of him. One in trouble is Morris Williams. The car coming to a halt on the top corner. Through the hairpin corner it is Paul Carlish, David O'Keefe, Alex Jenner, Bob Domjohn, Mark Pagel and Frank Armstrong, with Jeff Bingham tailed out to the rear. Paul Carlish is the race leader as they go through the hairpin and then up the main straightaway again to the better of David O'Keefe. Alex Jenner, next one through is Mark Pagel, who moves Bob Domjohn out of the road. We've got Frank Armstrong trying to get out of the way in the hairpin corner and was unable to do it. Fractions of a second between the yellow light and Frank Armstrong being able to get the monsters he's playing with. Paul Carlish gets the better of the jump. David O'Keefe is the next one. Alex Jenner having a look down the inside. Mark Pagel's with him. They've dropped off Bob Domjohn. Mark Pagel looks for the outside on Alex Jenner. Will try the crossover through the hairpin. Paul Carlish is the race leader. To the better of David O'Keefe. They've only got a couple to go. Paul Carlish, David O'Keefe, Alex Jenner, Mark Pagel down the inside of Jenner as they go down the hairpin. It's Paul Carlish, the white flag waiting for him. He's got one to go. Alex Jenner gets very high. Mark Pagel in a position number 3 now. Has a look at David O'Keefe with one lap to go. Alex Jenner now falling back into the clutches of Bob Domjohn. Paul Carlish, though, will lead from start to finish in car number 75. Takes the checkered flag from David O'Keefe. Mark Pagel, Alex Jenner. Bob Domjohn would be the next one home. Frank Armstrong and Jeff Bingham, the last one to greet the judge, Paul Carlish. Allowing the Super Sedans to do one cruising lap before we let them loose on their 8-lap journey. Jeff Bingham off pole. Mark Pagel on the outside of the front row. Bobby Domjohn there in car number 88. David O'Keefe moves up on the outside of the second row. Paul Carlish, Alex Jenner, and at the back is Frank Armstrong. Look for a green one as they head up the main straight. Nice and early we've gone racing. And Paul Carlish down the inside with a nice early jump start has got him and Bob Domjohn sideways on the top corner. Lights out, looks like we're going racing nice and early. There's a green one. Mark Pagel down on the inside, gets the better of the jump. David O'Keefe going with him around the outside. Jeff Bingham tucked on the inside along with Bob Domjohn, who moves underneath him. Paul Carlish would be the next one. Frank Armstrong. And at the back is Alex Jenner through the hairpin. For the first time, we've got Jeff Bingham turned around in the hairpin corner, brings on a yellow one. Around again. Mark Pagel looking for the start, high up on the racetrack. He's off and running as the lights go green. And David O'Keefe wants to go with him around the outside of Jeff Bingham as they arrive at the top corner. Mark Pagel, David O'Keefe into position number 2. Got a bit of a problem back there as Frank Armstrong it was, arriving at a great rate of knots over Jeff Bingham. Moves to the inside. Bingham closes the door on him coming out of the main straight away. We've got him hooked across and onto the infield. Lights out, going racing straight away. David O'Keefe had a look down the inside. Mark Pagel shut the door on him. Mark Pagel, David O'Keefe right on his hammer, back then to Bob Domjohn in front of Frank Armstrong. The next one would be Paul Carlish, and Jeff Bingham calls it quits and pulls it onto the infield. No, he doesn't. It's fired up again, so he's gone back onto the racetrack. Mark Pagel is the race leader to the better of David O'Keefe. Bob Domjohn tucked in there in position number 3 in front of Frank Armstrong, and behind him is Paul Carlish, and they've dropped off Jeff Bingham, who's heading down the back chute at the moment. So Mark Pagel, clear leader from David O'Keefe, with Paul Carlish having a look down the inside of Frank Armstrong as they arrive at the hairpin corner. David O'Keefe, almost overdoes things, but he manages to pull it back. Hold on as he continues in position number 2 to the better of Bob Domjohn would be the next one, Frank Armstrong. Bob Domjohn in trouble, pulls the car down onto the infield, car number 88. Race leader Mark Pagel about to put a lap on Jeff Bingham. Bob Domjohn, the wick's gone out in car number 88, and he takes the hold and onto the infield through the hairpin for our race leader. Mark Pagel puts the lap on Jeff Bingham. Back into second place is David O'Keefe, a long way back then to Frank Armstrong in front of Paul Carlish, and Jeff Bingham, the other one on the racetrack. It's all Mark Pagel. Half a lap in front he's got with just 2 laps left in the event. David O'Keefe is fairly safe in second place with Frank Armstrong throwing to the white car 53 around with Gay abandoned as he arrives at the hairpin corner. This allows Paul Carlish to have a little bit of a look up the inside and perhaps move up one more place with only 1 lap remaining. Checkered flag waiting for Mark Pagel as he comes up the main straightaway. Takes out heat number 3 of the Super Sedans. We're waiting for David O'Keefe, the next one across the line in front of Paul Carlish. And stranded down there against the concrete on the back straightaway, trying to get the car fired up, is Frank Armstrong to finish that heat of the Super Sedans. They rumble by with the lights out, so we're going racing. Mark Pagel and David O'Keefe off the front row. Paul Carlish and Alex Jenner off the second row. Third row is Jeff Bingham. Outside of him is Maury Williams, and right at the back is Frank Armstrong. Heading up the main straightaway for a start, off and running we go. David O'Keefe on the outside, Mark Pagel down on the inside, gets the better of the jump. Paul Carlish trying to go with him. David O'Keefe being shuffled back a little bit as he's caught on the outside. Moves to the outside of Paul Carlish again. Bit of a touch and the nose cone comes off car number 56. Mark Bagel is the race leader. Paul Carlish, David O'Keefe minus the nose cone, holds on to position number 3. Next one behind him is Alex Jenner in front of Jeff Bingham. We go back then to Frank Armstrong, and at the pack is Maury Williams. Mark Bagel stretching the legs just a little bit to try and break open the field. The lights have come on yellow. Send the push truck down to pick up the nose cone, David O'Keefe's nose cone. Super Sedan feature rolls up the main straight away, off and running. Mark Bagel, Paul Carlish, David O'Keefe, Alex Jenner. That's the way they head around the top corner with Frank Armstrong, the next one in car 53. Back then to Jeff Bingham, and at the back is Maury Williams. We've lost Alex Jenner in the hairpin corner, turning it around. Can he keep the car mobile? Maury Williams trying desperately as well. The yellow lights are on. Is car number 4. Watch for a green one as we head up the main straight away. Off and running we go. Mark Bagel, Paul Carlish in front of David O'Keefe. The next one there is Frank Armstrong. They've dropped off Jeff Bingham straight away, and Alex Jenner has gone straight to the infield in car number 6 with Maury Williams at the back. Through the hairpin and up the main straight away. And it's Mark Bagel trying desperately to get rid of Paul Carlish, who is stuck to him a little bit this time through the top corner as they head down the back straight away. Mark Bagel, Paul Carlish, David O'Keefe in there with Frank Armstrong. Next one would be Maury Williams, and right at the back is Jeff Bingham. Through the top corner and down the back straight away, it is still Mark Bagel to the better of Paul Carlish, who's sticking on him. Frank Armstrong having a little bit of a think about a pass on David O'Keefe. Looking for that third placing. Through the dipper they go. David O'Keefe is in there. Frank Armstrong gives him a little bit of a nudge. Brings himself undone and onto the infield, and will go to the back of the pack with Mark Bagel, the race leader, over Paul Carlish. Back then we go to David O'Keefe, Maury Williams in front of Jeff Bingham, and now right at the back is Frank Armstrong. So they're spread out pretty well all around the racetrack, with Mark Bagel still trying to break the shackles of Paul Carlish. But Carlish won't give it away. He's still trying hard back there in second place, still chasing him in car number 75. A long way back now in third place will be David O'Keefe in car number 56, as we've got a problem in the hairpin. Off and running at the restart. Mark Bagel, Paul Carlish, David O'Keefe. That's the way they head down the back chute in front of Maury Williams, with Frank Armstrong the next one. And a long way back then to Jeff Bingham. But at the moment, Mark Bagel making every post a winner to the better of Paul Carlish, who doesn't seem to be able to close that gap anything on him. Back then in third place is still David O'Keefe. Behind him is Maury Williams. And then Frank Armstrong is car number 53. And right at the back is Jeff Bingham in car number 7. Through the hairpin still for Mark Bagel. Puts another lap down on the journey. Paul Carlish, I think, has given up the chase with 7 laps remaining. David O'Keefe is still chasing hard. Maury Williams, then we go back to Frank Armstrong. They're coming up quickly to put a lap on Jeff Bingham as Mark Pagel underneath the start finish line in front of Paul Carlish. David O'Keefe puts another lap down, as does Maury Williams. Frank Armstrong and Jeff Bingham. It's still by how far for Mark Pagel in car number 4. Paul Carlish has probably given up the chase. Can't close the gap. David O'Keefe has dropped off from Paul Carlish as well. Maury Williams looking to try and close the gap up on David O'Keefe, unable to do so. And in there too is Frank Armstrong, and they put a lap on Jeff Bingham as Mark Pagel arrives at the hairpin corner in car number 4. Up the main straightaway he comes. Paul Carlish would be the next one. David O'Keefe in a fairly safe third place at the moment from Maury Williams and Frank Armstrong. Up the main straightaway, can't be too many laps left in the event as Mark Pagel goes by. In fact, 2 to go for Mark Pagel in front of Paul Carlish. David O'Keefe is hoping that the front end stays together because the bonnet starting to wobble around. Something awful on car number 56 as he heads down the back straightaway. The white flag out and 1 to go for Mark Pagel to the better of Paul Carlish. Next one through there is David O'Keefe with the bonnet flapping around as they head into the hairpin for the last time. It is Mark Pagel in the Super Sedan feature event from Paul Carlish. Back in third place will be David O'Keefe getting across the line in car 56. Maury Williams would be the next one. And Frank Armstrong with Jeff Bingham, the last one to greet the judge. Mark Pagel, too good. The lights went green and he disappeared in the distance. Jessica Raymond through the dipper to hold on to his race lead and losing it in the top corner. Alex Jenner with a big lead. We've got one in trouble, that is indeed Bob Domjohn in Cana. Jessica Raymond as well. We've still got them 2 abreast. Troy Sismay, the race leader. We've got Brett Baxter turning it around of Darren Brady. Can't do anything about it. Lee Steffens is right there as Justin Jenkins gets up on the infield and will not hold on to win. There's somebody up there at the bar where some of the videos of recent days are being shown. It's against the concrete and Mark Raymond trying to take advantage of that down on the inside as Lester Wilcox still in a bit of trouble, going straight away again to the better old David O'Keefe. Alex Jenner, Alan Hughes very high on the racetrack, got a problem coming off the top corner. Troy Sismay it is to be. Continues on his merry way. Got a problem in Rams in behind there. Jessica Raymond having a little bit of a look down on the inside this time. Long as they head down towards through the dipper and into the top corner and then straight into the inside front wheel. That's the way they settle down at the top corner. Gavin Fletcher's got Craig Mellor and now we got them all. And Jason Campbell was able to avoid the lot around the outside. With this heat of the streets. Good class field of street sedans here. As they go through the hairpin again, another one parked on the infield is Sid Whittaker. As David Kent turns it around on the hairpin corner. Neil Caldula 7. Tim Aiken is still there in 15. Mark Raymond again has a look down the inside. He's overdone it. And loses off Tim. There would be Brad Jennings. The next one is car number 22. Gives the fence a bit of a touch up. Completes another lap in the journey. That's Chris Pagel, Frank Armstrong. And at the back is Alex Jenner through the hairpin. For the first time we've got Jeff Bingham Moves to the inside, closes the door on him coming out of the main straight. Oh, we've got him hooked across and onto the infield. Against the concrete on the back straightaway. Trying to get the car fired up. There's Brett Baxter. The Commodores side by side to the top corner. We've got Tegan Jennings going the wrong way up the hill on the inside. Matt Rigby. Rodraska holds his line. Brett Baxter in trouble. Gets it going the right. He's got 11 laps to do it. Brett Baxter is car 5. Jessica Raymond 30. Sarah Fran struggling now to hold on with Sarah Fran right in the mix as well. Trent Humphreys gets a little bit of a nudge and around he goes. Well, Sarah Fran shuts the door on her and around goes Tegan Jennings, and to the hairpin for the first time. Darren Brady on the outside comes to grips with Justin Jenkins, and it's really on in the middle of the pack. We've only got 3 cars and there's plenty of panel rubbing. Can he move him out of the way? We've lost another wheel off car number 8. The second one tonight for Neil Caldoulis. Brings on a yellow light. In the race lead now over Christian Walker. Mark Raymond in a bit of trouble coming out of the hairpin along with car 27. I'm trying to go down the outside of Sid Whittaker. Makes the racetrack a little bit wider. Into the hairpin, Mark Raymond is right up underneath and gets the car turned around sideways. The Jeff Bingham, and at the back is Murray Williams. We've lost Alex Jenner. David O'Keefe is in there. Paul Frank Armstrong gives him a little bit of a nudge. It's another lap down on the journey. Paul Carlish, I think, has given up the chase with 7 laps remaining.